Yeah, I've got the camera on the boat again. But this time, it's on my gorilla pod. It's Monday afternoon, I've had enough of doing firewood. So I come out fishing, it's quite nice. It's going to rain again for the next 3 or 4 days. Why it has to rain all the way through August, it's beyond me. Anyway, what I've noticed is the leaves are starting to turn on the trees, which means winter's coming, and it's coming fast. And I don't have enough fish for the winter. So I'm fishing on a carbon pole, made up of several poles, because it breaks, and I have to simple float line, double hook, fishing on worms. I've brewed myself from waste from the kitchen and coffee grounds. Hold your horses, hold your horses. You know, that's the second one I caught on this worm. And I might just get a third one on that. What do you think? Don't know. I seem to have found the hole. I've been looking for a couple of hours now. Can't really find it. But I think about it. If I can get 3 fish to a worm, then I'm laughing. God, Jesus Christ. What was that? Yeah, like I say, I found them. I've had to do a lot of searching, but I found them now. Okay. I have to put a new worm on. And it's always a bit of a panic putting the worms on. Once you've found them, you don't know how long they're going to be where they are. So you want to pop as many out of that hole as you can, as quick as you can. And the beauty of a pole, and I ain't seen nobody else using a pole, but I know the old boys here used to use poles because we found them all over the place. And the beauty of using a pole, it's as quick and it's simple, but it's only quick and simple once you've found what you're looking for. And I've got my rod on the boat, and it's set up with 3 hooks and a bomb weight on the bottom, and I've got all my lures, but for me the most pleasant way of fishing is a pole and float, because it's just simple and there's no birds' nests and there's no messing around, and you don't normally miss a strike. Yeah. So unfortunately, I'm making this look as simple as most of the things I do, which is why what's not being filmed is how long it took me to find the fish. I knew roughly where they were, and it's not just finding them, it's the time, it's the way that you bait the hook, it's the method you're using, it's the depth you're fishing, all these things. You didn't see none of that, but what you are seeing is the benefit of all that. Do you need to be quiet? No, I can't tell you how many times I was told as a kid, be quiet, hush, don't talk. You have to come in. Oh, my son. This isn't aim the bottom hook. Be quiet. Be quiet. Don't make a noise. You'll scare the fish. Does that fish look scared? No. Of course you won't scare the fish. When I said there's no bird's nests, didn't. Every now and again you can mess up, and but let's keep back in that hole. Never mind about messing up. Something don't look right there. That's no good, is it? You ain't gonna catch nothing like that. So what depth am I fishing in? Less than a metre. Less than a metre off a sandbank. And I was trying to pull them out from the weeds. They get a lot of things growing on the riverbed this time of year. They've reached the top and they've gone over, but there was no takers. I floated over this spot several times, but I couldn't go back and find it. And there's a very specific area. You might have 30 minutes in this one area. You might have 15 minutes in this area. You might have a couple of hours. So the old boys here, the old men, they used to fish with long bamboo sections that they used to clip together. And my idea was to restore one of these and use it. But the metal sections, I don't think that's big enough. The metal sections are so corroded, they don't go together and I had a carbon pole, and I thought, well, we'll fish on the carbon pole, but then that broke, and then I had another one, but it was a smaller one, so I kind of cobbled the two together, and this is the second year of me using these two cobbled together carbon poles. And like I say, just a simple, I have a hook, 2 weights and a hook, and then a float. Now, the downside to the upper level hook is you'll never catch anything of a decent size on it, or rarely. It seems to attract the smaller ones, but sometimes a smaller one will jump on the top hook, and a bigger fish has been watching the bottom hook, and that'll jump on as well. So we've already had 2 lots of 2 today before I switched the camera on. Not in this spot, but that spot there. I'm trying to talk to make it a bit more interesting, rather than have to cut this together. You can just see 20 fish come over the side of the boat, and that's point made and job done, if you know what I mean. Have I missed them already? Nope. And where is Casper while all this is going on? Well, he's behind me. The kip. Oh, anyway, you heard it, so. I came out here yesterday, and I didn't do so well in this spot, or I started to do well in this spot and then they went off, and then I started moving around the river, and I didn't catch anything else for the rest of the afternoon. It could be evening, could be probably about 1800 by now, I think. Where's the sun? Well, it might not be that late, might be 1700. But I've been trying to get as much firewood cut and in the shed as I can, because it's due to start raining tomorrow lunchtime, and then we got heavy rain forecast for 3 or 4 days, and it's just the rain. But yet the river level's so low, so I don't understand. They must be come on then. They must be using a lot of water lower down and opening the dams. I've got any worms left? No. When you got no worms left like that, that tells me the little ones are feeding in with the big ones, and they suck the worms off. So I'm sure I've said before, when you live in an Arctic region, worms, there is a couple of places where you can find worms, and you can buy worms, but you're much better off growing your own if you can, because then you've got an instant supply of worms. Most of the ground here is rock, sand. It's can't grow nothing where you grow potatoes. Potatoes and albora or perch. Little ones. Do you know, that's so often the case when the fish move through. After the big ones kind of disappear, you get all the little ones, and that's not a little one. That's lunch. That's what that is. I always hate it when I manage to hook myself on that second hook. I think we won't bait the second hook and we'll just bait the bottom one. Anyway, so what I was saying was quite often they come through and the big ones move off and the smaller ones tend to move in after. But we're still pulling them out that hole, corridor, whatever it is. And it looks like we're going to continue to do so for a while. I suppose what I could do just move the camera around so you can see what I can see. I hope somebody's keeping count of all these fish. So, this pike, the big one that I caught, the video's down there. If you haven't seen it, it's there somewhere. I got to thinking yesterday, that was close to the Swedish record. That was so close to the Swedish record that I'm not sure that wasn't even the Swedish record, bearing in mind I weighed it badly and measured it haphazardly because I didn't know, never even give it a thought. But it weren't a million miles away from the world record for a pike. Now, the thing about that is on the basis that one was down there, right? And I know where that was. Then there has to be then there has to be a bigger one, right? So that would tell me that it's very likely the world record size pike. Hey. He's swimming around underneath me, having a laugh. Oh, now. So all you got to do, I'm going to make this sound easy, but I just want it to go on the record somewhere. All you got to do is work out where they are and how to get the really big ones. So I'm just putting this on the record now, but at some point when I've got enough food, just for the hell of it, I might see if I can find myself a world record sized pike, as they're down here. And what I've worked out is, bearing in mind, he got spiked in the side of the head, right, by an old man. Where's that hook? It's over there. I'll show you what I did it with in a minute. Bearing in mind that they ain't very bright, or when they get hungry enough, they're so focused on food, right, they're taking their focus off what they're doing. Well, there's nothing happening with that for a minute. If I lean forwards here, right, I can show you my pie cook. There, that's my pie cook. Bent, as you can see, still from the stabbing. So that big pike, that's what I got it with, over the side of the boat. Lucky, very lucky. Where's these fish gone then? Have I moved? No. Has the anchor come up? No. Come on then, what's going on? Anyhow, I'm making it sound easy because there's been people out there pike fishing for years, right, in search of the monster that I just happened to hook in the side of the head there. And trying to adjust that, and they would be really upset by that. Anywho, can't be rocket science, can it? Because I could do rocket science. So what's that, 21 minutes? I don't know how many we caught in 21 minutes. But it's not boring, is it? Not once you find what you're looking for. But it's simple, that's what it is, all this, you know. For somebody, when I come here, I was an avid sea fisherman. And I spent quite a lot of money drifting over wrecks in the channel, trying to get up them big conger hills. And I was quite good at it. I was quite good at that. But sea fishing was it. Wouldn't go fishing in the canals for gudgeon, you know. And are you doing something or what? And yeah, inland fishing, it didn't really do much for me. But I very quickly realised when things weren't going according to plan, and when I tasted what the Albora tastes like here, oh, have I got a worm left? Oh dear, that don't look good. Let's sort this mess out. That don't look good at all. I very quickly realised once, no bird's nest, so I said, didn't I? Did I say that? Well, that's not gone well, has it? Right, I'll sort this out. I didn't miss anything. I just got my line wrapped around the tip of my thing, so I said no bird's nests. And then I'm thinking, well, not everybody has any clue what I'm talking about when I say bird's nests. So, for those of you that are not fishermen, you deal with endless amounts of fine line and hooks and things that just... I ain't even got this in yet. Yeah. But this one's just... Well, that's just hilarious. It's just hilarious. Wow, that's the kind of result you want after just sorting out your bird's nest. Get out of it. Wait a minute. Look at the size of this one. Now check that out. So what I was saying about bird's nests, I hope you can't hear what's playing in my iPod, but so a bird's nest is when all your fine line and all your tackle and all that just gets in one big, massive knot and mess. I'm going to have to put some water in this bucket and shut this up. Oh no, wait a minute. Are we on or are we off, or what's happening there? Fill up a second bucket because our first bucket's full up. Did I just do that without looking? Yes, I'm afraid so. I can't remember whether I finished my bird's nest scenario. Anyway, I don't know if you're bored yet watching me catch fish. But you see what I mean about a potential for a world record pike. If I was a beer, and I'm not, or a lager, I'd be Heineken, probably. No, not in the right place. Anyway, it's much nicer to sit out here on your boat with your son in the back, pulling fish in, than not. Open. There we go. Oh, you can go in the fresh bucket. You can. There you go. Can I catch anything on what's left on there? I don't know. Looks a bit mullered, doesn't it? The fresher the fish, the fresher the worm, you know, the better the fish. So, what can you catch on worms? Any fish. If there's one bait that every single freshwater fish likes, it's the old red wiggler. Yeah, don't matter where in the world you are, it's worms, which is quite a native thing. It's quite a native thing when you think about it for worms. It's not like it would be part of their regular diet, is it, worms? But anyway, well, I think we probably need to put a fresh worm on that now. Because the little ones have had them all off. Stripped it bare. And I've tried the spinning with all manner of expensive things that you can buy at the local fishing shop, which is what the locals do. They spend hours. Hours and hours. Some of them, a lot less than used to, some of them spend days trawling with their little motors puttering about. Trying to, you know, now there is a case for doing that, don't get me wrong, but, don't know, No. Well, you just want to fight, don't you? This one, he just wants to fight. Now he's got caught up on all sorts of things. Right. Jesus Christ. We're not doing very well there. That's 3 fish, 3 worms. Anywho. I've stopped putting worms on the second hook and I'm just using the bottom hook now. Can't even remember what I was in the middle of saying. Oh, about trawling and spinning. And they spend hours doing it. So, when we started doing this, of course, I'm not a freshwater fisherman. But I do know how to anchor a boat. And I do know that just about every freshwater fish in existence, hey, do you mind, likes worms. But I was intrigued by how the locals fished. Bearing in mind I'd found all these poles, I was intrigued the fact that none of them used a pole and they all used these shit things that you buy from the shop. Well, I couldn't make them work, I couldn't catch no fish. So I made up a load of rigs for Sarah, made up a load of rigs for myself, anchored the boat, found a source of worms, fish normal. I think the locals, for the first season, thought I was... The second season I'm doing the same thing. And I'm catching fish. Anyway, one of the old boys, who will remain nameless, last year, after watching me doing what I've been doing for a few years, he anchors up his boat. He's quite obviously found a source of worms, or bought some, and yeah, he's popping his rod off the side. He was so excited he had to come over in his boat, show us what he caught. Anyway, I've been seeing a few people with floats on their rods now. All that spinning and getting excited. You've got to find where they are. Well, you still got to find the fish, but I found them today, obviously. I'm just talking shit now, and I'm gap filling. How many fish do I need to get me through the winter? Well, where I've been so busy catching up on anything else, I've done a lot less fishing than I usually do. And I have had the cages out, as you've seen, but they weren't working very well. And they don't work as well as when they work well, but they don't work as well as line fishing or pole fishing. Ooh, you're a juicy one. Oh no, you're just a head. That's no use. What am I doing? There you go. Oh, worms. And you can't lose any. So what do you feed worms on? Do you know, I've watched a lot of YouTubers that have got worm farms or breed worms, and they use this or they use that, ground this up and ground that up. I don't have the answer. I just don't have the answer. But I do know, in order to be successful at fishing for food that you need to eat, as in leisure fishing, if you can't eat it, I've seen quite a come up. I've seen some of these guys. They got all the gear in the world. Hey. They got all the gear in the world. All right. Oh, I know. I should sell it. Carp. Now I understand that the fight with carp is if you've never caught a big carp, you've never been fishing. Try Congaree. So everything is different. Anyway, we ain't doing any of that. We're fishing for food. And this is the easiest way I know how, and I think I've demonstrated it. I'm going to keep going. I think after a while, me whittling on about a load of old twallop, catching fish could get a little boring. So what I'd probably do is just show you what I managed to catch at the end of it all. If you don't pop that right in the right place. Where is the right place? Just about there. Like that. Trying to do this in real time so you can kind of understand, see it for yourself. Right, there we go. Hope I put it in the right place so you can see it. Drop that, drop that. That's exactly the right place. And if a fish don't grab it by the time, because now the wind's blowing, you just have to pick it up and put it back in the right place. And that's the advantage that a rod, that pole has over a rod, is you can accurately put it in the same place every time. Well, can I do it with a rod? Not always. No, I can't. But now you're watching, see, nothing's going to happen. It's always the way, isn't it? Look at this. And then nothing happens. I'm not doing that game because since I turned you round, I caught fish. And then I'll turn you back and it goes. It was lively. And then we're back to the catching ways. So anyway, I'll do a quick one at the end of the day because I'm sure that's enough whittering on. I'll have to remember to do a little one at the end. So it seems to have slowed up here, but it looks like I got about a month's worth of fish there. But there's not a lot going on there. But there's plenty going on there. Oh no, we got a fish. Oh, have we? Yep. Oh, that's only a baby. Just as I was thinking it was slowing up, I'm sure I'm upside down. Right. So where was I? Yeah, I think I've got about a month's of fish there. Am I likely to overfish the river? No. And do you know why? I'll tell you why. Because there's nobody here. That's why. Let's get it right so that the sun's... So there's just me. There's a few other people that live here, but not many. Why do I eat this fish like this? Why do I fish for food from the river? Well, 2 reasons. Most importantly, I can't afford to buy fish in a shop. And secondly, I was a great salmon fan. I won't eat salmon. I know what's in salmon. If it comes from the sea, all manner of nasty stuff. If it comes from a farm, even worse. Where does this come from? This comes from this water here. Is the water good enough to drink? Oh yeah. North of here, I'll just push those in a bit, just in case you can hear me music. North of here is a frozen wasteland. There ain't nothing here. And there's nothing between the frozen wasteland and me. So that means our water's about as fresh as it can get. And therefore the fish are about as fresh as they can get. Why do I put them in buckets full of water? To keep them alive. So they get filleted and get frozen while they're still kicking. Yeah, that's about the size of it. And then they're fresh. But I mean, look at that view. There are many downsides to living here. But I think if you've been everywhere and done anything, then and you're quite a hardy person, yeah. But don't come. I'm just saying. That's all. Don't want nobody else. It's been like that now for a couple of hours. He sleeps. Well, there ain't not much else he could do, is there, really? Anyway, so I think that's it. We'll head back to the dock. We should be safe doing this. That'd be a joke, wouldn't it? Last time we was here, we had to go swimming. Wait. Okay. Right then, how did we do? Not as well as I thought. So there's 27 in there. So I thought we might be up in the 30s. So there's definitely not a month's worth of feed in there, definitely not, but 27, that's a good couple of hours. Lovely, look. Very nice. I'll tell you what, with the rain that's forecast, the old man needs to get down here and empty out his boats because they look like they're full of water. And with the rain that forecast, they'll be sinking. Right, let's go and sort these fish out then. So that's it. Thanks for watching today. Catch you on the next one. Bye for now.